So, first off, my opponent had a lot to say. The first thing that I would like to approach is how she used the word unadulterated. I would like to start off by defining what unadulterated means. It's not a matter of sexy costumes. Unadulterated simply means not mixed or diluted with any different or extra elements, complete and absolute. So in other words, when we say school uniforms will help support an unadulterated view of one another, it means unbiased, equal, genuine. That's all it means. No sexy schoolgirl costumes. I would also like to say, along with unadulterated and all that, there are a lot of schools that have gangs on their campuses. And in schools, this is from the an article in the LA Times called School Uniforms Save Money, ironically enough. Evan Lives says, in schools attended by gang members, what students wear can be a matter of life and death. If students are wearing simple uniforms of neutral color, then gang members are harder to spot, and one source of provocation is removed. So that's a pretty big point right there. My opponent also claims that people will still have misconceptions of other people due to their hair and makeup and the way they talk and their still cliques and everything like that. Yes, that is true. It's also less of a big deal when you're not wearing clothes. Dorothy Belling, in an article called School Uniforms and Person Perception, she says that she studied the effects of person and clothing on formation and of first impression females by their peers, and she found that dress had a greater effect on person and impersonation of sociability. So people judge you literally on what you're wearing. So yes, there's still the hair and makeup, but it's much less obvious. Also, she says that there are going to be cliques based on the way you think and your social abilities, so there's still going to be popular and unpopular people. But that's the point. You want to make friends based on what's in your head. You want to be intellectuals. That's what friends are supposed to do. So that's, one way that uniforms can help. My opponent also claims that intruders can still come on campus, especially if teachers aren't going to wear uniforms. If uniforms are enforced, it's a universal thing. Everybody wears them, including the teachers. She also says that people can go out and buy the uniforms and then come on campus and mess everything up, which is true, but you would have to go out and buy the uniform. It's like, it's just much more trouble. It's much more discouraging to know that you have to buy a uniform. A campus that does enforce uniforms, I got this from their website, they say, our school uniform enables staff to quickly identify intruders on school grounds who could pose as threats to students and school property. So that's right there is a quote saying that yes, this does in fact help. Also, she said that school uniforms is kind of a band-aid and it'll give a false sense of security to parents. Well, a lot of parents and students are looking for that sense of security right now. Intruders in our public schools, that's another article. According to that, 3 in 10, so that's 29% of parents, indicate that they are not satisfied in that their school and their children attend, that they prevent intruders from entering the school grounds. So they are looking for that sense of security, and that's exactly what uniforms will help with. Moving on, my opponent says that there are too little connections between grades and uniforms. Academic and uniform does not really go hand in hand. She says that there's a lack of research that supports behavior changes. I would like to offer some research that supports behavior changes. A case study of the effects of adopting school uniforms in Long Beach, California in 1999 says that when these uniforms were applied, overall crime rates dropped by 91%. School suspension dropped by 90%. Sex offense dropped by 96%. Vandalism dropped by 69%. Assaults dropped by 85%. Leaving class for no reason dropped by 47%. Throwing objects in class or outside of class or on campus dropped by 68%. And fighting went down by 38%. That is research that supports very serious behavior changes. So yes, maybe it is a little inconclusive drawing relationships between education and uniforms, an increase in grades and uniforms, but it's not all about grades, it's also about character building and what's really what school is supposed to be teaching you, inside and outside of the books. Lastly, she says that it is in fact a financial burden because it is very expensive. Yes, it's true, uniforms can be expensive. But in comparison to the incoming and outgoing trends and styles, matching, the mixing, waking up every day, choosing what beautiful thing to choose from your outfit that's a walk-in closet, all you need is about 3 uniforms. That's it, and you're set for the entire year. It's a big difference. And she also says hand-me-downs will become obsolete. That's not true. You can still hand your old uniforms down to your little sister or little brother. I went to a private school that enforced uniforms up until I moved out of that. But when I went there, I wore my sister's hand-me-down clothes. And lastly, she says something about self-expression, about how uniforms will belittle self-expression and get rid of it. There's really no way to measure that, and first of all, and second of all, there are many ways to express yourself. You can play guitar, you can draw, you can paint, you could do so many other things and wear your favorite blouse to school. So, thank you.